Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to another edition of Let It Rip Sports Show. I'm your host, Eldridge Bell II, and today's topic is the Western Conference Finals of the NHL playoffs between the Anaheim Ducks and the Chicago Blackhawks. Today, they play later today, Game 6, crucial Game 6 for the Chicago Blackhawks. If they win, they force a Game 7. They lose, series is over, and the Ducks advance to the Stanley Cup Finals. But before I get into the keys for the Chicago Blackhawks to win a Game 6 and force a Game 7, I want to talk about what the Ducks did to the Blackhawks and how this is kind of a hard matchup for the Chicago Blackhawks because in many ways that Anaheim Ducks resemble the Los Angeles Kings, my favorite team. Side note there, my favorite team, which I'm severely depressed that they're not in the NHL playoffs this year, but it's always next year. But anyway, this Ducks team resembles the Kings. They're big, they're fast, they're physical, and they don't make a lot of mistakes slash turnovers. They force you into making mistakes and turnovers, especially in your own zone along the boards by grinding you, hitting you, forcing you, getting in the passing lanes, forcing turnovers, and shooting and crashing it and scoring goals. So in that sense, this is a hard matchup for the Chicago Blackhawks. But the Chicago Blackhawks are a resilient team. Going back to last year, where they took my Kings to 7 games. We won, by the way. But I think this is going to be the same thing with this matchup with the Ducks. I think it's going to be 7 games. But the series, the game, in all honesty, in Game 5, the game should have been that close. I felt that the uh, the Ducks were more physical. They seemed to have more energy, and they had a lot of great shots. I mean that I believe it was a second goal by Ryan Kessler. That was an amazing goal. I mean, to tip it that fast, and it was like a knuckle puck. You didn't know where it was going to go. Crawford had no chance. But I felt the real reason why the game went into overtime, in which the Ducks ultimately won in overtime, was because of the shaky goaltending of Frederick Anderson. He let in a lot of soft goals, especially the last goal by Jonathan Toews to force overtime. I mean, Jonathan Toews is literally, I want to say horizontal to the goal, to the net, and to let that kind of goal in at that juncture of the game, you can't have that. You can't have that. And honestly, the Ducks should have won this game. Should have won Game 5 by at least 3 goals, 2 or 3 goals, because those goals were soft. Um, Going into also before I go into the keys, also the Ducks were very non-selfish. Um, a lot of their goals that they scored, they made that extra pass where usually a lot of times in playoffs you see the guy just shoot it after the first or second shot, after the first or second pass. The Ducks did a great job of finding that extra pass where the goalie was out of position and it was for easy goals. So I want to give kudos to them. Now, if they can do that, have that same kind of energy and that same kind of physicality in Game 6, the Ducks will advance. But for the Chicago Blackhawks, they have to be the aggressor. I felt from start to finish, first, second, and third period, the Ducks were the aggressors. They made all the physical plays. They made all the first shot. That they had the advantage in shots, the good shots. Excuse me. Um, they have to be the aggressors. They have to punish the defensemen for the Ducks. And also, if you got a shaky goaltender, that is that is bread and butter. Go and work on Frederick Anderson. If you can get in his head, score a couple of quick, easy goals on him, especially if it's in the first period, this series might be easily swinging in your favor because I don't know how his mental state is after that game. Granted, they won Game 5, but those goals, they got to goals like that, soft goals like that, have a tendency to creep up in your mind, especially for goaltenders because they're odd dudes. Every goaltender I know when I was playing hockey, they were kind of off. But if you got to hammer Frederick Anderson with shots, pepper him, crash the net, get rebounds. Don't look to score so much as just pepper him because I don't know how that shot by Jonathan Toews in Game 5 went in between his legs when he was virtually horizontal to the goal line. Uh, but beyond that, the physicality, like I said before, pepper him, and force turnovers, trap the neutral zone, bang down low on the boards, be not vigilant, but be what's the lack? I'm losing for lack of a better word. Just be relentless. Excuse me, relentless. Be relentless on the boards. Win those races. Win those races to the puck. And if the Chicago Blackhawks can do that, we will see a game 6. We will see a game 7 in this series because, like I said earlier in the video, the Chicago Blackhawks are resilient and their backs are against the wall. So I'm expecting, I want to say, high energy from beginning to end, and I feel that this game, I don't think this game will go into overtime. I think it'll be 3-1 Chicago Blackhawks. We see a game 7. We see a game 7 in both the Western Conference Finals and the Eastern Conference Finals. At least I'm hoping for that. Anyway, as always, please feel free to leave comments, suggestions. Don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel, Let It Rip Sports Show. And until next time, ladies and gentlemen, I'm your host, Elvis Bell II.